When Geometry Dash 2.2 was released, RobTop said Update 2.21 would be released 6 months later, but after 2 years of 2.2 being released, the update still hasn't come out, which begs the question, when is 2.21 actually coming out? For the last few days, I've been looking at RobTop's Discord messages and browsing local game files to see if I could find any information regarding the release date. And not only have I found some helpful information, but I also think I found something that I don't see a lot of people talk about, which suggests that RobTop might have to release 2.21 soon, and why its release might be a lot sooner than what you think. So the first thing I looked for was Discord messages from RobTop. RobTop doesn't have a lot of messages regarding 2.2's one release date other than that previous statement, but still I have found some related messages that I think are worth mentioning. For instance, RobTop said that Explorers probably won't come out in 2.21. Although this means that the update will probably come out a bit sooner, it's still quite disappointing knowing the level probably won't come out in this update. RobTop also mentioned working on a spin-off game in February 2024, but since this is an old message and we haven't heard it from the game since, this is probably not relevant information. But aside from that, nothing RobTop has ever said recently on Discord gives us a good insight into when the update will come out. But there's still something that RobTop did recently that is very suspicious. If you have logged on to Geometry Dash on Steam in the past 2 weeks, you realize that you'll start getting a lot of Steam achievements. That's because RobTop added all missing in-game achievements onto the Steam page, which is a bit weird, like why would you do something like that out of the blue if you weren't preparing for a bigger update? Why not just release another very minor update like a 2.208 and then add the new achievements to Steam in that update? However, this single point is still kind of weak. But together with this new info I'm going to bring up, which I've only seen one person talk about it might make a lot more sense. Let me explain. On July 18, 2025, RobTop announced a new Gauntlet contest. And on December 23, 2025, RobTop announced the results of the contest, and at the end of the video, he mentioned that the Gauntlet would come out soon. But here is where it gets interesting. To add a new Gauntlet to the game, you obviously need the in-game files for it. For instance, here is a file located in GD containing the artwork to every Gauntlet released. If you look closely, you'll realize that the random Gauntlet's artwork isn't here, which means RobTop would have to make a new update to release the Gauntlet. This is important considering normally RobTop can release a Gauntlet without pushing a game update if the files are there. For example, when the NCS Gauntlet was released a year ago, RobTop did not need to push out a new update because he already had the Gauntlet's files added to the game in update 2.2. But since they're not, it means that RobTop has to update the game to release the Gauntlet. I'll give credit where it's due to XCreatorGo for raising this point in this video that is linked in the description. But it's also worth mentioning that he said this a few months ago, for RobTop confirmed that the Gauntlet would come out soon, which means that his point stands even stronger now that we know RobTop said that. Obviously, this update doesn't have to be 2.21, it could be just a very minor update like 2.208, but it will make a ton of sense otherwise. GD is at an all-time high in player count, surpassing a few days ago the record when 2.2 was released, despite not having a major update for 2 years. Combined with the fact that RobTop updated the achievements recently and has still a Gauntlet yet to release that needs an update, it's reasonable to think RobTop's preparing something even bigger. If RobTop really wanted to release an update like 2.208, he logically would have done so by updating the achievements and also adding the new Gauntlet. But since it's been 10 days and the Gauntlet hasn't been released, it's reasonable to think that update 2.21 might be releasing very soon. But don't get your hopes up yet, everything in this video is just a prediction. Also, we all know RobTop, he likes to use words like soon very loosely, and is very bad at giving accurate release dates. However, I truly believe that 2.21 will come out somewhere in the next few months, or if we're lucky, in the next few weeks. This video took quite some time to research, script and edit, so if this video was helpful in any way, then please consider subscribing. Even just a single sub makes me want to keep doing these videos, so I'd really appreciate it if you do so. Lots of great videos are coming out soon. Get it? Soon? Okay, no, I'm ending this video, sorry guys.